Hey everyone, and welcome back to Small Engine Edge. Today we're going to talk about push mowers and what brands, makes, and models that you can actually make some cash off of. There's many different types out there. There's many different variations of these different models, but some of these will be money pits that you're not going to be able to recoup an investment on, especially now. I'm going to go over the experience I've had with these different models and tell you what the best ones to make a quick buck are on. Some of these mowers you can turn $20 into $200 with the right experience and know-how real quick. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as we go along if you enjoy the content. I have a bunch of different brands, makes, and models of push mowers all lined up here. They range everything from Toro to Honda, Husqvarna. You got Pool and Pros and Cub Cadets, Lawn Boys, Craftsman, Yardman, Yard Machines, Troy Built, Cub Cadet, Pool and Pro, Brutes. But many of these mowers are exactly the same when you boil things down. They're made by the same companies, and the parts are pretty much the same across the board with few variations. If you look at all three of these first rows, there's a lot of different brands, but they're all made by MTD. None of these things is made by a different company. The Craftsman up here has a little bit different engine design on the top, but all of these are exactly the same plastic carburetor, Briggs & Stratton engine on all of these. The design on them may be a little bit different. Some of them are front wheel drive, some of them are rear wheel drive, but overall it's the same thing. They're kind of cheap stamped decks, cheaper handles. On these mowers, I don't see a big return on them most of the time. You don't get good money out of them. They're kind of your lower end mowers. Some of them will have the better Briggs & Stratton on it that they sold for a long time, like the one to the back right here. But the majority of them are just going to have these cheaper, whether they have a nice top on them or not, like these Craftsmans, they're going to have your cheaper engines on them. They just do not sell for a high dollar. Those are the ones I kind of try to stay away from. Sometimes you can get those things for free. You can get them for different prices. If you get a real good deal, if you're only paying $10 or $20 for them, hey, maybe something to buy, but most of the time not worth it. And when you get into the engines like these Troy-Bilt TB230s, they are very well similar to the Craftsman M220 and M230, and you can make quite a bit of money off those. Over in this row, we got the same engine, but a different overall design. It's a front wheel drive instead on that Pool and Pro. The Cub Cadet has the same engine as the TB230 and the Craftsman's. And then we've got another Craftsman there that's all MTD made stuff besides the Pool and Pro in front. The handles and stuff, the drive systems are a little bit different, but overall it's going to be the same design. Same with this Troy-Bilt over here. It's got one of the older designs on it, but all of this stuff is made by exactly the same people. It's all MTD made except for that Pool and Pro up front, which really isn't much different than any of that stuff. It's your low end, kind of bottom of the line, cheaper branded stuff. We go over here to a Lawn Boy. Lawn Boy's got completely different styles on theirs also. This one has the Kohler engine, which I'm not a big fan of, but the overall design is going to be cheaper, just like this Lawn Boy that sits right behind it. They had a good Tecumseh engine and kind of a decent setup, but none of this stuff is high quality. Same with this AYP Pool and Pro. That's made, and it was a good mower in its day. Don't get me wrong. It's got the big back wheels. People love that sometimes, but it's just lower quality stuff. These are the types of things that I would say stay away from or buy them at a very good price. Otherwise, you're going to get into a case where it's not going to be worth fixing and you're not going to get your money back out of them. Those are all what we would call throwaway mowers, essentially. Once they die out, you go buy yourself a new one. Over here, we've got some of the little bit more what I would call higher end or at least higher priced mowers for what you'll get out of them. This Husqvarna up front, it's an AYP product, obviously. Got a little different drive system and stuff, but kind of the same design. It presents with a Honda engine as a little bit higher quality and has a little bit different drive. but it's the same as this other one. This Husqvarna back here, they look a little bit different. Um, the second one you can definitely get a lot more money for, but again, kind of one I would stay away from. Once we come to the Honda, though, that's a completely different system. Okay, it's got the Honda engine. It's got a good Honda drive on it. Good control. This one has the blade brake clutch on it, which you can stop the blade without turning off the mower. This is a mower you're going to get high dollar out of, no matter the case. Even this simple push mower here, it doesn't have any drive to it or anything, but people love these Hondas and they usually hold their value really well. Not like these Husqvarnas. They're not going to hold value nearly as well, although you can get a decent amount of money out of those depending on what the situation is. If they're in really good shape, absolutely. Once we come over to the Toros, you can see this design. It's got basically, it's a similar engine to that power mower that is on the Craftsman, like TB230 and stuff. It's got the personal pace drive. The deck is kind of a stamp deck that's a little bit cheaper on all these, but they make a few different engines and variations of these. This one, again, is just like the 230, and that's just a Briggs. That's the better flathead. Some of them still come with those plastic carburetor ones. You've got to watch the wheels and the drive system on this. They do go bad very quickly. We've got videos on straightening those and stuff. But these are what you would call lower end Toros, but they hold their value very well. I always like to take a look under the flap on these style decks and see if there's a crack anywhere along this piece here, because it happens more often than not, and then you'll be having to weld it. These here have the different drive. The wheels and everything are all beefed up. Same engines, but the deck is aluminum or magnesium. Personal pace is all the same, but some of them have electric start. Really just depends on the different model. Some of them do have the blade brake clutch like the Hondas. These are ones that you're going to be able to get good money out of. Some have that Briggs & Stratton flathead on it that I do love. They again make very many different variations of these. Some have the handles that flip forward, some have a solid handle, but these are rock solid mowers. And these mowers, in my opinion, are some of the ones you can get the best money for, especially the electric start versions, and they go quick. People just seem to recognize the name and the quality. We've got the newer style Toros here. They've got the updated wheels, and they've got the curved handle to the personal pace up top. That's the way it seems all of them are being made. Little bit different design. The bag on the back's different, and this Briggs & Stratton engine is the one with the plastic carburetor, so not my favorite. They've got this Vortex technology they claim. That's just a marketing ploy to try to get you to buy it. It essentially means nothing. The deck is just fabricated like the others. No big upgrade there, except they did away with the side chute. Not a high quality mower, but still one you can get decent cash for if you're reselling. A few more lined up here. We've got an old Lawn Boy. It's an old 2-cycle. I wouldn't buy something like that now. They're just been around so long. John Deere, it's got the drive system, and the wheels and everything on it are so expensive. No matter what, I would stay away from it. Another Troy-Bilt and MTD made stuff here. Has a better engine, just a push mower. Now we've got another Honda, the HRN series. One of those that does sell for a great price, and it's got that same drive on it. Toro Time Master. These you get extremely good money out of, and they're extremely expensive. They've got the same kind of personal pace, blade brake clutch and everything on them. Buy those for a good price if you can. Stay away from stuff like this that looks like it's been beat up and has got that all-wheel drive system on it. It's something that's not going to make you money. Everything on that's so expensive. This Toro, the drive's better, and the engines are going to be better. The parts are going to be cheaper too. That's why we like to go with the Toros, something with the personal paces, the key starts especially. An old snapper like this, is it something that you might be able to buy and sell? Sure. But the drive system on it many times is something that's going to need a lot of work, and you're not going to get much money out of it. Stay away from all these older things if you want to make some cash. If they look like they've been sitting for 10 years, don't buy that. You're not going to be able to get parts, and if you do, it's not going to be worth your effort. Again, more of the MTD stuff like this. It's got a little bit different engine on it, but same kind of thing. Don't spend your money on these and expect a good return out of it. This is maybe an $80 or $100 mower running well. Not worth investing your time unless you're just trying to learn, starting out. I've went over a lot of these different styles and stuff with you, exactly what I would and would not purchase just as a whole as far as brands and everything. But the most important thing when you're looking at a mower is the condition of it, right? Is the condition good enough where you can sell it for a decent profit? That is the number one indicator. Is if it looks like that Husqvarna that was out there sitting under a bush for 5 years, that's not something that's going to clean up real nice, even if you put a lot of effort into it. And then it had the all-wheel drive system, something that I know that the pulleys are usually locked up every time, and then you've got to deal with the belt. You've got 4 expensive wheels. It's still only a $150 mower if it's running perfectly. So just stay away from some of those different designs and some of those things. If they're missing a bunch of parts, you're not going to want to put that money into it. If you go and they look real nice and everything, you can always check the blade to see if it's bent. You can always try running a mower on starting fluid. That's a real quick, easy test that most people don't mind you doing when you go to purchase something, unless they're hiding something, of course. But if you check out the blade and you pick a point to the outside of the blade and you spin the blade around to the other side, the blade should match up at that same point. If it doesn't, at least the blade is bent. Sometimes the crankshaft's bent. That's what starting something on starting fluid or trying to start it on starting fluid will give you a little bit more info. If it starts vibrating real bad, it's probably something you want to stay away from, especially if you're on a tight budget. If you're going to go buy 10 of them, that's a different story. You can maybe get a price for buying in bulk, but stay away from those missing parts. Stay away from those brands and makes. You don't want the John Deeres and you don't want the very expensive part ones. You've got the AYP Craftsman stuff. I'll put a picture of one of those up. I just saw one of those as I was walking in and I was thinking, hey, I didn't even cover that. Well, just the cable on that, I see those obsolete anymore. And if you can get them, they're like $50 for that cable that comes up with the bag. It's not worth putting that money into if that cable's bad. So check all the cables out real quick. See if they're rusted out or real hard to pull on those cables. Make sure everything's in good shape. If it's all rusted up, it's probably not a good buy. Again, if you're learning from this stuff as you're buying it to flip it, that's a different story. You're getting the value from the knowledge of what you're building, so it's completely different. You are getting some value. Even if you're breaking even, you're getting that experience, which is ultimately going to make you money. So it depends on what your status is. But if you're just buying to flip and sell and you're already pretty skilled at what you do, stay away from some of those brands I mentioned and models I mentioned. Go for your mid to top of the line stuff mostly. And a lot of times, if you keep an eye out on Facebook or on Craigslist Marketplace or even sometimes in the paper, Nextdoor is a great one. People are giving these things away or wanting $10 or $20 for them. And you can turn that $20 into $200 on a nice Toro or a nice Honda or a higher end Husqvarna or Pool and Pro that's in decent shape very quickly. People just want to get rid of them. They want to get them out of their garage or their yard. That can be your profit that you can build from. And let me give you a few tips on flipping your mowers. Nobody wants to come buy a dirty mower. Make sure it's power washed, it's cleaned up. You can wipe it down. Even tire shine works a lot of times to just kind of give a refresh to all the plastics and make everything look like it's brand new. Sharpen and balance the blade. People will look at the blades and the bottom of the deck, make sure it's clean. New air filter, change the oil. At the very least, give them something that looks like it's actually been well maintained. And that'll help you sell through. Selling in the spring instead of in the fall is going to be a lot quicker for sales because people are getting ready to mow or their mowers are breaking. Spring and summer is always going to move faster, especially spring, super fast. I can't keep them in stock. They're gone before I even put them up front. Someone's asking for a mower. But sell in the spring, make sure it's all cleaned up. Check all the features. Make sure that everything's working properly. If someone comes to buy it and one of the wheels is stripped out, that they're not going to buy that. They're going to notice, or even if they don't, it's not good practice to try to sell something that's not working good. Check the self-propel. Make sure that the electric start's working if it's an electric start mower. If not, replace the battery. hey, it's an electric start mower, and sell it for that full price instead of taking less because the electric start doesn't work. Hopefully this helps somebody out if you're trying to flip mowers or buy and sell mowers out there. Probably do one on riding mowers here. I don't know, maybe later this month or something. We've got big announcement coming up next week, just with what we've kind of done and the area we're going to end up with our new shop here in the coming year. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the content.